John Oakes here with HANKSTERS Hot Rods, just coming with you our newest inventory. This is a 1967 Chevrolet Nova Super Sport. It is a real Super Sport, a real 118 VIN code car. That's how you tell your real V8 Super Sport is the VIN number. So on our car, we're going to start with the underside here, go over some of the high points about the car, and then once we're done with the underside, of course, we'll go ahead and get it down off the lift and do our walk around of the outside and show you the inside. As we have the car on the lift, we start at the back here. You can see underneath here, we've got our nice metal fuel tank here. There's no marks on this at all, no dents, dings, anything like that. It looks fairly new, all painted up. All of your mounting hardware, the straps, all of the bolts and everything like that, all in good shape on this car as well too. Now just ahead of the fuel tank here, they do have mounted in here an electric fuel pump. So that's one thing this car has that some don't, is the electric fuel pump. You can see it's got the multi-leaf rear suspension. It's got the traction bars back here as well, along with a set of air shocks back there, so you can air them up and adjust your ride height on the back just a little wee bit. Again, it's got dual exhausts, so you see the tailpipes all the way out the back here, exiting out right underneath the quarters here. We have this GM 10-bolt rear end, and this is a posi unit, so obviously as you spin the tire on one side, both of them will spin the same direction. So that is your posi unit. And on the outside edges there of the rear end, we do have drum brakes on the rear of this car. That's really about it on the back end of the car here. We'll move up to the center and take a look at the floors and the exhaust and transmission up there. Okay, now we've moved up underneath the center of the car here, so we can take a look at things like the floors and the exhaust system here. So again, floors, as we're looking here, floors look to be in all good shape. It appears as though it's got, a lot of the factory undercoating still on it yet, and it's all been, just sprayed flat black, so it's all uniform there. But yeah, no holes, no patches that I can see. It looks to be all the original stamped floor pans in the car. Obviously, we've already mentioned it's got the dual exhaust. It starts all the way up here at the, it looks like it's got a set of like the shorty headers on it, and it comes back into the dual exhaust all the way back to your dual Flowmaster mufflers here, and then out the back of the car. Other things that you can see from the center of the car, obviously we have the e-brake cables are all run and all hooked up back there. Fuel lines, brake lines, those are all in good condition. You can see that they're run across and over right against like the rockers there on the car and tucked up in real nice. Now the transmission, this is the Muncie M21 4-speed transmission. Even the transmission cross member here is in excellent condition as well. It's not dented up or anything, all just like it should be, nice and new there, along with the your tail shaft mount there to keep it cushioned back there for you. With that, we'll go ahead and move up underneath the front end of the car now. And finally now, finishing up underneath the car here, we're at the front now. We'll just kind of walk you through side to side now in this car. So in this car, one thing I did not mention yet that I will now is it's sitting on all BF Goodrich radial TA rubber, and those are mounted on some polished aluminum mag wheels that we have here in the car. Now this car has disc brakes up front. Now those are manual discs, but everything suspension wise on the front of this car is all the factory stamped suspension components. So your lower control arms, your upper A arms, that's again all factory stock suspension. Again, spindles all stock. Tie rods, you can see the tie rods are in good condition. The rubber boots on all the ball joints and all of your fittings, those are in good condition as well on the car. It's got manual steering on the car as well. I've got this front sway bar on there too to help stiffen the front end of the car up a little bit. We do have 350 Chevy motor here, small block Chevy. This is not the original motor, but it is a very good running 350 Chevy mounted up to that Muncie 4-speed transmission that we spoke of earlier. Again, like I said, just everything's all factory stock here. Nothing real elaborate underneath here, just your GM front disc brakes. And that's really about it. As far as underneath the car goes, at this time, we'll go ahead and lower it down off the lift, and we can go ahead and do our walk around and show you what this Nova looks like on the outside. All right, now that we have our 67 Nova SS down off the lift, we can go ahead and take you around the outside of it and show you what this car really looks like now. Obviously you see it does have the red exterior, very nice red paint on the car, very smooth, very glossy. We've got chrome bumpers up front and in the rear. We've got the wheel lip moldings also here. Now you also notice on this car, not your typical wheel, these are polished aluminum mag wheels. Not exactly sure the name that they call them, but you can see the style that they are. They kind of look like that old, maybe like an old Hildebrand style type wheel, but obviously they're a little smaller, they're not for drag racing. So very nice wheel though, very nice condition. On those we have BF Goodrich radial TA rubber mounted on them. The front tires are 195/60 R15s. I'll get you the back tire size when we get back there. Obviously you see we've got the flat, this is the stock steel hood for the car. You've got the 327 cross flag front fender emblems here as well. You can see that we have the drip rail moldings also, and all the moldings underneath the windshield there, are going across the top of the door and around the quarter panel there. Again, this is a real SS car, real 118 VIN number code. The only thing that it does not have would be the original motor in it. We'll get to that whenever we get up front. But if we go ahead and open up the door, take a look on the inside here. This is something else too that you can kind of tell with one of the real SS cars. If they came with this interior, this is your typical interior that you would find in an SS Nova. It's the all black vinyl interior. You have that white stripe down the center of the seats, and that's followed through not only on the front buckets, but on the rear seats, as well as on the door panels. If you look across the car, you can see that white stripe up and down on that door panel there. You have that on both sides. Now this car is all factory stuff inside. So you got your factory dash, factory instrumentation, factory SS steering wheel, factory 4-speed center console as well. All of your factory instrumentation, that includes your fuel gauge, 120 mile an hour speedometer. You've got the in-dash clock in there as well. Factory heater controls, factory AM radio. You do have some aftermarket gauges in there, and those aftermarket gauges are your oil pressure, voltmeter, and water temperature gauges. So that way you're able to keep read on those things while you're driving the car, so you don't run into any problems. All the seat belts are present in this car as well, and this car does have tinted windows. You can see here, side windows are tinted also, as well as the little wing windows on the side there too. So once again, all your trim around all the glass in excellent condition, no pitting or anything on any of that stuff, and all of your seals are all good too on this car. Driver and passenger side mirrors as well. So as we work our way towards the back now a little further, you see again the wheel lip moldings on the rear quarters there. Again, those polished aluminum wheels, and then the BF Goodrich radial rubber. Now on the rear, our tire size is 245/60 R15s. So again, with the difference in the tire size, just gives the car a real nice rake, a nice attitude, if you may, for the car. Just when it's sitting there, it looks fast. So, and then to finish up back here, we've got the Super Sport emblems on the quarter panels as well. Okay, now we're here around the back side of our 67 Nova SS. Just kind of giving it an overview here. You can see clearly the rear glass all tinted. You can see the trim around there too, the molding. That's in all excellent condition. Your trunk fitment, you can see the gaps, the elevation around here. Really good on this car. Taillight bezels, the lenses, the backup light lenses, all of that stuff in really, really good condition on this car. And again, you have that trim that goes across the trunk with the Nova SS badging here on the trunk as well. And again, that chrome back bumper there, very nicely chromed. Again, just like a mirror looking at you there. So we're going to go ahead and open our trunk up now. You hear it pop, so you see that that trunk lock does work. As we raise that up, you'll notice that the underside of the trunk painted up just like the rest of the car. You've even got the original jack instructions here, also the sticker for that. Now the floor of the trunk, all nice, all solid, all one piece. It's painted up with that gray and white trunk spatter paint, as it should be. You also have a trunk mat in here, and it's very nice condition as well. And you've got a full-size spare, and that's another BF Goodrich Radial TA tire that's mounted on there, along with your actual original bumper jack and the stand there for it as well. And the other thing that we can look at too is the trunk seal. The whole way around it, this thing is just in immaculate condition. There's no rips, no tears, no chunks out of it whatsoever. So again, sealing up from the outside elements, not going to be an issue with this car. So at this time, we'll go ahead and pull the trunk down, and now we'll be ready to go over to the passenger side of the car and show you that. Okay, now the passenger side of the car. Again, not a whole lot more here to go over other than what we've already been over on the driver's side. So we'll just kind of quickly go up the passenger side here. Again, everything is the same as we mentioned before. The Super Sport emblems back here on the quarters. You've got the wheel lip moldings both back here on the rear as well as the front. You've got those polished aluminum wheels there with the BF Goodrich Radial TA rubber. We've already given you the sizes there on all that stuff. The drip rail moldings and all the moldings down along the top sides of the doors and the quarters here. We can open up the door. We'll take a look at this side as well. Again, all of your seals and weather stripping all in really good shape. You can see the door jamb areas both on the door and down here through the threshold, everything like that. All the paint is still in very nice condition on this car. Again, we've already mentioned the tinted windows too, and the upholstery on the inside. Here you get to see a little bit more of that now with that white strip down the center. Again, that's both front seats, back seats, and on the door panels. So that whole theme's carried through the car. You've got Super Sport emblems also up here on the dash. Dash pad, no cracks, no tears. Same way with all the seat covers, no cracks, no tears. Door panels, those are just as nice as can be expected too. So again, no surprises on this car other than just the fact that everything is in really good condition there. So we'll shut that door, and it closes real nice. You see the door gaps, both front and rear, very uniform, very tight, very nice on this car. Elevations are spot on also. So as we walk forward again, we've got the 327 cross flag emblems down here. Now I know it's 327 emblems, but again, we do have a 350 motor under the hood here. Again, those polished wheels, the BF Goodrich rubber up front, and that brings us to the front now. So we'll go ahead now, come around the front, show you that front facade, the grille, the bezels, everything like that up here for the headlights. And then we'll open the hood up for you and show you that too. Finally, made it up to the front of our car. So now we can take a look here. You can see the grille, very nice. We don't have any dents or anything like that on the grille. You've got the Nova SS emblems up here on the grille. You can see those headlight bezels and housings. Those are in excellent condition too. The chrome on those, very, very nice. The chrome on the front bumper, very nice as well. Also, we've already mentioned it's got the stock steel hood. You can see the gaps on that hood too and the elevation. Again, about as good as you could expect on a car like this. Very nicely refined. We'll go ahead and open up our hood now and we'll show you what sits underneath here. And what we have is a small block Chevy 350 motor. Now again, it's not the original numbers matching motor. But it is a 350, so a lot of people, if they've had a replacement, they'll put the 350 in there because it's cheap power to build. And one of these little cars like this, it doesn't take much to really make them perform well. So on the underside of your hood, you see that they do have it painted up black. They went with the black underneath the hood and throughout the engine compartment there to kind of set it off a little bit from the rest of the car. The hood insulation, there's no chunks out of it, no tears, anything like that. So that's all tucked up in there nicely as well. On our 350 small block Chevy, we've got a chrome air cleaner. We've got the chrome Chevrolet valve covers in there as well. Now that's a Holley, just a dual feed 4-barrel carburetor. It does not have an electric choke though on that. So it's just a regular carb with manual choke. We've got a chrome alternator here, aluminum water pump. We've got shorty style headers down there with dual exhaust all the way out the back. We do have an HEI style ignition with Taylor Spyro Pro 8mm wires in there. You got the stock style radiator with a 6-blade flex style fan in here. Manual brakes, manual steering, but it did have the disc brakes up front, drum in the rear there that we went over on the underside of the car. Only other things really to mention underneath the hood here, the heater lines are all hooked up, so no problems there. Aluminum Edelbrock intake as well. And that's really about it. Just everything is just really nicely done on the car, refined very well. So just makes this car a nice fun car to drive. Again, with the 4-speed and the 350 in such a small car, you're going to have all the performance that you could ever wish for in this. And again, it's small block Chevy power, so you can build on it as you go, and it's cheap to build. So with that, we're all done with our video here on the outside of the car. If you have any questions, anything like that you want to go over with us, feel free to give us a call or email us. Our contact information will be with the video and on the website, and we'll do everything that we can to help you out and hopefully help pick a car out for you there.